Hello everybody, my name is Geko and today we're playing some more Territorial.io. Before we jump into the game, I just want to give you some insight into what my strategy is. When I jump into a game, the first thing that I do is I look for the most open space possible. The reason for that is that it is significantly cheaper on your points to take over open territory than it is to attack somebody, even a bot. Once I find a good spot to join in on, I wait until my interest rate hits 6.65% before I start to expand. The reason I wait for that exact moment is because if you wait any longer, you start to diminish your overall interest that you get. If you wait too long, you start to diminish your overall interest that you're receiving. After I grow at 6.65%, I wait all the way down until 6%. After 6%, I try my best to wait all the way down until 5%. But sometimes, depending on where I'm at, the enclosing of the area of other bots or players around me limits my ability to grow, and you don't want to get closed off too much. So if I can, I'll wait until 5%, but depending on how things are going on around me, I'll go ahead and jump the gun a little bit earlier than that. Once we hit the point where we hit 5% or we have to start expanding earlier than 5% and we get totally closed off, we want to wait just a few seconds, but ultimately we want to attack as many bots as possible. Something to note about the bots is that they will systematically attack anybody around them. It doesn't really matter who, but they will attack and they will spend roughly 80 to 90% of their overall points. You can kind of predict the point at which they expel all of their points, and if you time it just right, you can utilize your attack power the most efficient. And because bots are the weakest and they throw all of their power into either players or other bots around them, if you use this strategy just right, you can take over bots pretty easily and quickly. Another thing I do is I try to look for bots that are taking up the most space and have the least amount of points. There will be bots that are smaller and have the same amount of points as larger bots, but you want to try to grasp the ratio of size to overall points that they have. And I'm not claiming to be perfect at this, but if you do it just right, it's going to give you the best advantage to getting into the top 10. You're not always going to be able to do this perfectly, but if you do it right, you're going to be able to save yourself the most amount of points for your interest, because the interest is ultimately what's going to allow you to become the most powerful. Even other players are going to spend too much of their power and limit themselves too much, and you're going to be able to take them over. So using this information, you should be able to put yourself into the top 10. And really, from that point, it's just going to be kind of a struggle between who is the most powerful. And in my opinion, this is going to be the best way to put you into the top 10. Even when you get yourself into the top 10, you're not always going to win, because there's always going to be somebody better out there than you. But this will be a good set of tips and strategies to be able to get you into the top 10 to give you the most likelihood of winning the game. So let's go ahead and jump into the game and see if we can win a couple, or at least at the very minimum, get into the top 10. So we'll go ahead and just jump into a game here, go with this Battle Royale in Europe, and you'll see what I mean. So we start off at 7% interest. I'm going to choose this area as the most open. Maybe over here. Hopefully this guy leaves. Yep, he left. That's great. Let's see if we can get a little bit more north. Great. Now I'm going to put it at about 10-12% area, and we're going to wait for 6.65. And now we're going to wait until 6%, and we'll grow again. And now if we can, we're going to wait for 5%. You'll notice that all of the bots around me are all significantly weaker than I am. And as I said before, they're pushing about 80 to 90% every time they attack. And here we are at 5% with lots of open space. This is great. And now we're sealed off. So we're going to look for bots that take up the most space and have the least amount of points. And It's not okay. It's not bad to go after the littler guys, but you do want to try to maximize your potential. And you don't want to be too aggressive because if you use up all of your points, you're going to put yourself into a bad situation and be weaker than the people around you. I think that was a pretty good start. It wasn't the best start, but it's pretty good. We're at least competable with the people around us. This guy over here, Yeetland, went on to an island and sent off a couple of ships. That's not a very smart idea. When you send out ships, you're wasting a lot of points. And as you can see here, Yeetland just didn't make the grade. That put us into a pretty good situation here. We're not the strongest right now, but we are doing pretty darn good. And so now we're just going to play the waiting game until we see good opportunities. So player 478 here, he's looking pretty weak. But I don't want to attack him yet. I don't want to waste my points. I want to watch for better opportunities than that. This guy next to me, I'm with the crown, I'm stronger than he is, but oh, look at that. That guy wasted all of his points. So we're definitely going to jump in on that. Transcommune here is the weakest next to us, but he's not too weak that I don't want to attack him. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you start attacking everybody around you, you're going to piss them off. And if you piss them off, if you piss too many people off around you, they're all going to gangbang you, and then you're going to lose for sure. So it's better to wait, even at a red interest rate, and just wait until you have a good opportunity. Oh, geez. This guy wasted all of his points. See, look, he tried too hard, and now we have the opportunity to take over most of his landmass. Now we're sitting around 5 million, but the people around us are sitting at 2, 3, 4, 5 million. And so we don't really want to invade on them. Oh, look at this red guy here. He's sitting at 1 million. Now's a good time. Now's a good time. And again, don't be too aggressive. So like this syndistical union here, he's pretty strong. We don't want to mess with him. We don't want to upset him. We would prefer that he attack weaker people around him. Like this Formula 1 Empire. I'm going to let BBC do more damage to him. Even though BBC gets more points for it, the only reason I attacked was because I noticed that I was at 0% interest. And that is not good. When you're at 0% interest, you're not growing anymore. And if you're not growing, you're losing. I'm going to go ahead and go after this guy. And now we'll go after Trans because he is so weak. But we're probably going to lose this game. See, BBC took a bunch of the land that we could have potentially gotten. And it's too late now. So we're definitely... Not definitely, but most likely not going to win this game. But we're now floating around in number 6, and it's going to take a lot to push us out of that area. So we'll go ahead and just play the patient game. BBC is definitely winning, and we're right next to them, which is really bad for us, especially since we're between Gangan Pressing here. Gangan Pressing and BBC have a good 50, 60, 80% more points than we do, which is really bad. We are actually basically the weakest right now. So when this happens, you know, it's just kind of the luck of the draw. BBC and Gangan Pressing definitely took more advantage of bots, and they took their aggression off at the right time. And I don't see any possible way for us to win. So what we'll do, just for learning the game a little bit better, because I feel like some strategies have changed, we're going to go ahead and just wait and let BBC or Genghis Pressing waste their points on us. But at the same time, we're just going to observe. We're going to observe what happens, who wins the game, see if we can learn a little bit about how they're winning the game. At this point, it's pretty obvious, though. Whoever has the most points can slowly eat up the weaker players, and me and Holy Roman Beef are the weakest players on the map. Next to Control W equals team. Control W, if you don't know, which I hope you do, but if you press Control and the letter W, it closes your window. So, pretty common tactic to try to get people to just accidentally close their window. But we're definitely losing this game, and that's okay. That's okay. We can't win them all, so we'll just watch the rest of this game and see where it goes. Obviously, we're not going to win, but we'll see who wins. If Control W loses now, it would be really interesting. And BBC definitely just lost by throw. You'll notice that BBC threw all of his 30 million points directly into Control W, and it barely did anything. It basically did nothing to him. And now Control W definitely wins the game. And it is game over. Good job, Control W equals team. And as I said from my strategy, we entered the game with around 80 people or more, I think, and I was in place 9. I was in the center, so I got a little bit ganged up on. There is some strategy to being in the corner, but at the same time, being in the corner can limit your ability to actually have more access to enemies and bots. So, good game overall there. That's going to be the end of this game. This was just a review to kind of look at the strategy that I use and see where it goes. And as you can see, I didn't win the game, but as I said, I ended up in the top 10. So I hope that you'll be able to use this strategy to your advantage and push your game skills a little bit further. And by doing so, if enough people see this video, then we could increase the opportunity for new metas. So please share this video with anybody that you see that likes to play this game. Use this advantage or this strategy to your advantage, and I'll see you in the next game. Thank you so very much for joining me. My name is Geko. Be sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Toodaloo.